spawned off of Destiny. So these orbiters that spawn off of them then go and make, and then they go
Destiny
and make. They're like a plague.
What is happening, everybody? Andrew Wilson recently joined Tim Pool on Timcast IRL. Andrew Wilson and Tim Pool reacted to some clips of young leftist streamers that literally, yes, I mean literally, had no idea what they were talking about. Andrew Wilson attributed the rise in young left-wing streamers to alleged predator Destiny. Anyway, let's watch Andrew Wilson, Tim Pool, and the rest of the gang over at Timcast IRL crush Destiny and his gaggle of young, woke, brainless leftist streamers. Let's go.
Whatever it is the right likes, we hate. Listen to this.
The reason chronic disease in the United States is increasing is not because of chemicals in the food. Okay, as Donald Trump takes power and we're all reeling from the fact that this psychopath is going to be in office, some of the most misinformation that we're going to have to fight against together is health related. RFK Jr. is an environmental lawyer, not a doctor.
I'm going to pause right there.
Who's he?
Hold on. I'm going to pause right there. He already said two ridiculous things. Chronic illness is not caused by chemicals in the food. It actually is. This is a fact. Tartrazine
inflammation.
But tartrazine, studies have found that it could cause or exacerbate asthma. Although now the Wikipedia has been edited to be like, nope, totally fine.
Like last week, probably.
He then says,
what about high fructose
he says,
corn syrup?
RFK Jr. is an environmental lawyer, not a doctor, right? Let's play that one more time.
Misinformation that we're going to have to fight against together is health related. RFK Jr. is an environmental lawyer, not a doctor.
Okay, pause. The current HHS secretary is Xavier Becerra. Becerra? Is that how you pronounce it? Becerra.
Yeah. He
is a lawyer, former AG of California. Before that was a U.S. rep representing downtown L.A. He's not a doctor either, and that's who they appointed. This is proof. Guys, please. The whole Democrat liberal infrastructure is whatever the right is for, we're against. Yeah. Even if it's like you have butylated hydroxytoluene in your food, you don't know what it is or why you're eating it, it's a good thing.
Well, why are the representatives, though? Here's the thing. I will say this. The one good thing that they've done for us, this kid's a dork. Like, what a dork. Look at this nerd, right? He's guys, listen to me. He's like, who's going to ever listen to this dipshit? Nobody's going to listen to this guy. That's why, no. That's why 4,000 people left him and came over here, right? Yeah. They're not going to listen to this dork. It's ridiculous.
And all listen to the doctors. You know why chronic disease in the United States is rising? It's because of obesity. Well, Chris, why is obesity going up? If the government is doing their job,
completely wrong. So colon cancer has been on the rise among healthy young people. And this is a huge story. There was a couple studies that came out recently suggesting that high fructose corn syrup and emulsifiers have been causing colon cancer in healthy, fit, athletic young people.
High fructose corn syrup, like I just said earlier, that industrial product, that and seed oils, things like this, really bad.
So let's play a little bit more.
Capitalism. Everybody has more money than ever in the most complex, well put together society ever on the face of the planet.
It's wrong.
Look at where I'm sitting. I'm sitting in a vehicle where small explosions in the back will propel me forward to the nearest fucking McDonald's where I can
I just gotta
like and subscribe.
Pause.
Chris, in the front.
Are you aware that Chris, are you they're in the front of the car. I don't know that Chris is aware, but impoverished countries have cars too. And the combustion engine is not unique to the United States.
Get a meal that's very calorically dense and yet low in nutritional value. And I can do it cheaply and in like 5 minutes. We fix this via education. I don't know, eat a diet that consists of more whole foods, for example. Okay.
He's taken the libertarian route, which is really weird. These liberals are so anti-right that they'll even become libertarians to argue with the right. I reject the free market solution to all of these things. I drive to every diner. On the weekends, Allison and I will be like, we'll get breakfast somewhere. And every single diner uses aerosol spray on their grill for cooking food. I don't want to eat that, so we're like, I don't know if I want to do that anymore. There's only one restaurant around here, Martinsburg Family Diner, that has real butter. When you order food, they bring you out a little thing that says it's real, it's actual butter. Every other diner we go to, even the smaller ones, we try to go to the expensive ones, they'll give you packets of butter spread. Like, what is butter spread? Hydrogenated linseed oil or some other garbage nonsense. Nobody cares. And if I don't know the degree to which this stuff is causing poison or whatever the point is.
Well, it's part of the high trust aspect that we have.
Right.
And so you think You think that everything you're getting off of the shelf has already been vetted. It's already known to not be poisonous. Nobody would give you things which are poisonous to eat. That's insane, right? Of course, our government's looking out for us, and of course, the opposite is true. And so you're absolutely right. You can't use a libertarian free market approach to this. You need an authoritarian approach, and you actually have to say, no, I'm sorry, you can't sell actual poison. You can't do that.
So
it's also a very obvious statement. Right. And he packs, and the leftists do this all the time, right? They take one piece of the truth and pack it in with so many lies that it makes the rest of the lies seem like they're true.
Yep.
And this is exactly what this dork is doing right now.
Yeah. And their leaders, this guy, I mean, he's totally wrong, but how are the Democratic Party and the leftists having him and Harry Sisson, how are they supposed to be their online leaders when they're just...
Well, they don't debate. They don't do confrontations. You can't get Parker or Dean, the next two. They don't debate. My understanding, wasn't Dean supposed to?
You know, in an effort to be fair, I've always said both the right and the left engage in this kind of tribalism, like, hey, if the other side wants this, we're against it. And that's still true. But with the state that the Democrat Party is in right now, and the fact that they've proven time and time again, they don't build anything. What have they accomplished when they've been in office and had power? The last 4 years have been a disaster. They also are notorious for not keeping their word when they say this is what we're going to do. While I still believe that both sides engage in this, kind of tribal voting in Congress and tribalism in general, now I'm changing my stance that both parties do it equally. It's much more common to do that on the left because think about it. What do they have to offer? Donald Trump's doing a good job right now. He's trying to fulfill his campaign promises. All they can do is oppose any move he makes. I mean, look at the clip we just watched of this dope sitting in his car. I don't know how many things that he said that were just with a couple of clicks on Google verifiably untrue, or WebMD or wherever. They're just not true. There's a song I really like that says, if one side likes air, then the other side will put a bag on their head. That is a perfect description of how the left behaves right now. If you know the song and the artist, drop it in the comments. And what the hell does talking about human advancements like the automobile have to do whatsoever with chemicals in our food? Look, the internet is notorious for incorrect information, and maybe I'm naive, but I believe that people are smart enough to decipher what's correct and incorrect for the most part. But kids are super impressionable, and that's who people like this guy are talking to. And it's unfortunate that kids are being infected with the propaganda that people like this guy are speaking. And when I said in the intro that this kid literally said absolutely nothing, and what he did say was verifiably incorrect, it's not my intention to bore you, but just let me read you a couple things that I found with literally the most cursory internet search on the planet. So I typed in, what chemicals in American food largely contribute to obesity? Before it even listed them off, this was the preface to the answer. The obesity epidemic in the U.S. is largely driven by toxic chemicals, food additives, and ultra-processed ingredients that disrupt metabolism, increase fat storage, and promote overeating. Here are the worst offenders. And it lists 12 different offenders, and I'm sure that's not a comprehensive list. Most of these offenders are disallowed by other countries. Now, Andrew's correct that no adult is going to hear this idiot sitting in his car talking super fast while talking like this and while making other completely false statements, guys, or talking and saying nothing at all. Unfortunately, though, young voting age people are going to watch this guy and be like, wait a second, I know that guy. He won a hide and seek challenge on Mr. Beast's channel. So he knows what he's talking about.
He come on here?
Yeah, he canceled the last minute.
Oh, what a shock. Coward Dean. Coward Dean also said that he would do a live debate on whatever. Backed out of that. He said it on video. He
then tweeted, I responded because he was like calling out Aiden Ross or whatever. Was like, when are we going to debate, bro? And I was like, Dean, we're still waiting for you to reschedule. You said you'd figure it out. And then he was like, I'll do it right now, live. And I'm like, we're not doing the show right, because they know they create impossible circumstances. So they can't do the show and then go, oh, he won't have me on.
Well, they want to do it. It's worse. They want to do it on their TikTok because what they do is they mute you. With absent the mute button, these people have nothing. Oh, yeah. You can't get through a debate. So I always say the same thing. I'm like, look, I know Culture War will host us. I know whatever will host us. Tons of platforms which will host us. You don't have the mute button, and there's a moderator, and that's a debate. Not you go on TikTok, you click the mute button so that you can, you know what I mean? That's ridiculous.
This is the left, man. It's like we were talking about before with like Destiny and Sam Cedar and them. And you know, I'll stress this too, because it's a point I made a couple weeks ago. I used to think there was no point in talking about these guys. I'm like, who cares about some YouTubers? Like, well, the corporate press now
it matters,
but it matters now. And I've learned this. I have reconciled. MSN Joe Scarborough is getting 28,000 viewers. They don't matter at all. Like, why bother talking about them ever? We absolutely should be talking about Sam, Destiny, Pac-Man, Brian Tyler Cohen. They get way more viewers.
They're the
and
ones
do
getting
more to shift the cult. So it's not even just that. It's the orbiters, the idea of the orbiters. It's not that a guy like Destiny or a guy like Vosh or people like this, in and of themselves, while they're a machine, they spawn orbiters. Vosh came from Destiny. Hassan Piker came from Destiny.
Yeah.
These guys' career got launched off of Destiny's back. Yeah.
Both of them.
Vosh was a
So salty about it.
yeah, he was an orbiter inside of the community. His name was Irish Laddie or something stupid, right? He was a joke. He was a commie. They would make fun of him. He was the butt of every joke.
Wow.
And then he goes off and he becomes, his own brand spawned off of Destiny. So
funny.
these orbiters that spawn off of them then go and make, and then they go
Destiny
and
is
make.
budding.
They're like a plague.
Yeah, Andrew's 100% right when he talks about the orbiters. I mean, they just look at someone like Destiny and say, all right, how did he achieve kind of the platform that he has right now? Oh, he's a leftist political commentary guy now. If anyone out there right now is looking for a career change and you want something that's easy and you can probably be top of your field pretty quickly, if you're good at political commentary, but you don't have any principles and just want to make a name for yourself, go on the left and do it. Be a political commentator. I'd do it if I had the ability to lie to my audience, but I can't. I've even thought to myself, okay, taking out that you don't lie to your audience, could you do it? Could you just go create another channel right now and say the opposite of everything you're saying right now? And I genuinely could not do that. I could not sit here and agree with David Pakman, Destiny, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Kamala Harris, etc. It would make me physically uncomfortable. Like when I edit my videos, I literally on a regular basis have to mute when Destiny or David Pakman's talking. It's that irritating to me. It's like nails on a chalkboard. But anyway, I'm just throwing that out there. You want to make some money, you want to move to the top of the pack really quickly, just go be a left-wing political commentator, because idiots like this guy are your competition. If you have half a brain, you could be at the top of your field very, very quickly. I mean, think about it. If you're going to choose a side and you just want to make money and have a career, going on the right wing is not a really smart move, because the line of competent, logical people is way longer and more challenging to kind of advance up the ranks, you know? On the left, you can be king of the retards in a couple of days because they're so desperate and have so few talented people on that side in this space. But what do you guys think about all of these left-wing little kid streamers that like want to be Destiny? Do you think there's something to contend with, or do you think they really don't have much of an impact? I'm curious to know what you think. Let me know in the comments.